we are first heading to Newark, New Jersey, where Judge James Convery is hearing the divorce proceedings.
Next, we're in Newark, New Jersey, where Judge James Convery is overseeing a divorce hearing.
Benjamin Taylor is represented by Yvette Ramos Alvarez on one side, while his soon-to-be ex-wife is on the other. Alvarez has sought a copy of his Social Security earnings statement.
On one side is Benjamin Taylor and his attorney, Yvette Ramos Alvarez. And on the other is his soon-to-be ex-wife.
Now Ms. Kolsky comes back after everything was finished except for the Social Security earnings statements, which he doesn't have.
As you can see, Judge Convery is not having it and decides to conduct a quick courtroom poll.
Don't you get it? I get it. You get it? You get it? Everybody gets it. Social Security sends it to your home every year.
However, Alvarez, based on her personal experience, disagrees.
No, I don't get it. They sent it to my home 4 years ago. I haven't received it in the last 3.
Judge Convery has just a few seconds left before saying anything that he would later regret.
Well, when did you become an illegal alien?
Alvarez is taken aback by the judge's comment. She is not only of Hispanic origin, but she also served as the Hispanic Bar Association of New Jersey's former president.
Judge, I am going to... That was a totally inappropriate comment.
Judge Convery tries to backpedal, but Alvarez goes forward and out the door. This is followed by an uneasy silence.
I didn't mean it. I'm only... listen to me.
Then comes the awkward silence.
10 minutes later, Alvarez returns to the courtroom and Judge Convery apologizes, but the damage has already been done.
Alvarez returned to the courtroom 10 minutes later, and Judge Convery apologized, but the damage had been done.
Alvarez eventually files a misconduct complaint against Judge Convery, and this, combined with other public complaints, results in a public reprimand by the New Jersey Supreme Court.
Misconduct complaint against Judge Convery, which, along with other public complaints, led to a public reprimand by the New Jersey Supreme Court.
The court is back in session, following the new year in Greenup, Kentucky.
We're in Greenup, Kentucky, where court is back in session after ringing in a new year.
Happy New Year to everybody. Well, same to you.
This is Judge Robert Connolly, serving as a judge for more than 20 years, and he seems excited to begin another case. First up, a probation revocation hearing.
First up, a probation revocation hearing.
Michael Ferner, the defendant, owes his ex-wife almost $9,000 in child support, and according to her attorney, he has disobeyed the court's payment schedule.
He's not made any payment in 2019. He just doesn't make any.
Didn't pay anything in the whole year?
Nothing in 2019.
It has been a rough year. I mean, I had 3 boys at home. My wife works full-time. We didn't have a babysitter.
After hearing the defendant's explanation, it's possible Judge Connolly could give him a break to start the new year.
Can I ask you a question? What kind of person has 3 kids when you can't even take care of one?
My kids are grown. They're 21 and 19.
But they're living at home.
No, they
I
don't live with their
You just said
mom
you
or
had
anything.
3 kids.
I think
Yeah, I got 3 little ones with my
5
wife.
kids, Judge. 5 kids.
Ferner goes on to say how he was unable to pay child support and that he had come to court before to change the amount, which enrages the judge.
It's owed to the client. Judge, your order was $238 a month plus $50 toward arrearages.
Well, it changed next time I come to court.
What? You just need to shut up. The more you talk, the more ridiculous you sound.
And just like that, the judge's New Year cheer is out of the window.
I'm sorry.
Send him to jail. Send him to jail. Go talk all you want over there, okay? Talk all you want over there.
Judge Connolly makes a firm order for everyone in the courtroom as Michael Kerner is brought into custody.
When I'm talking, you better be listening. I only talk if I'm wanting you to know something. Don't try to talk over me. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. If I'm saying anything, you better be damn listening.
Upon waiting for 20 minutes, he summons the defendant, Gary Willis.
20 minutes later, he calls defendant Gary Willis forward. Unfortunately for Willis, he's also here today for failing to pay child support.
Unfortunately for Willis, he's also in court today for failing to make payments toward child support.
Willis, how come you aren't paying what you're supposed to pay?
I thought that I was paying it. I just missed a court date. I got caught up Thanksgiving and absolutely forgot.
The judge is not having this either.
What am I supposed to do? What does the victim in your case, the ones for money, I have to answer to them. They say, Judge, he doesn't pay. What are you doing about it, Judge? What are you doing? Do us both a favor and do what you're supposed to do.
That may have been fair advice, but the Kentucky Judicial Conduct Commission found after the 2 instances that Judge Conley's delivery of the message was poor.
That may be good advice, but it turns out Judge Conley's delivery of the message left something to be desired for the Kentucky Judicial Conduct Commission. Following the 2 cases,
Judge Robert Conley was given a public reprimand following an inquiry into his alleged intemperate conduct. Conley eventually acknowledged his actions and gave a public apology.
After an investigation into his, quote, intemperate conduct, Judge Robert Conley ultimately accepted the public reprimand, admitted his behavior was inappropriate, and issued a public apology.
Now we head to Durham, North Carolina, where Judge James Hill is presiding over a child custody case.
Now to Durham, North Carolina, where Judge James Hill is presiding over a child custody case.
Divorced parents Roshana and Colin Morrison have been going at it quite personally in the courtroom for 3 days.
I'm angry that his dad lives in Durham, can go on vacations with friends, take mistresses out to eat, take her on vacation, and can't seem to see his son.
The child's mother, Roshana, claims her ex-husband abandoned the 3-year-old son and failed to pay child support. He argues she withheld his son from him and is seeking permanent custody. The judge isn't very happy with either of them.
I could care less about it, didn't you? I could. The 2 of you are not important.
And he's going to let them know.
That's 2 parents, and I'm going to choose my words very carefully. If 2 parents can come in and act like such idiots, y'all the one that crawled into bed and had sex and made that baby. He didn't ask to be born, but he was. What's important is and you don't need to see 2 adults acting like idiots. Did I say the word idiots?
He absolutely did. That too, thrice. Judge Hill turns his attention towards Roshana now.
I have no doubt that you have withheld that little boy. Don't you be looking at me. You say one more word, you say one more word, you're gonna go to the Durham County Bed and Breakfast today. You say one more word. All right, Deputy Neville, she's got 24 hours of protective court to run her mouth as soon as we get done. All right, you got 48 hours. You will say it again, she's got 48 hours now, Deputy.
Roshana eventually quiets down, and finally, after 3 heated days in the courtroom, the judge delivers his decision.
Both parents are fit and proper persons to have custody of the minor child. I mean, joint custody.
A furious Roshana is unable to come to terms with the verdict.
Just say, I can't do this. This is a disgrace. What you guys are doing, you need to let your son for 9 months come right there and you're a drunk, you have a mistress, you have no one who doesn't do anything right. I take care of my family's business, and I get women because he used to be in his son's life whenever he feels right.
Morrison's brother, Sharon Smith, makes an entrance.
As officers try to restrain her, Morrison's brother, Sherrod Smith, comes forward from the back of the courtroom. He
tries to help by calming down his sister. The brother is trapped in the middle, and the cops attempt to contain him, but he sends one of them flying.
At first, he tries to help by calming down his sister. But when that doesn't work, and Roshana throws a bailiff a right hook, Big Brother's caught in the middle. Officers try to restrain him, but he sends one of them flying.
The judge leaves the scene quickly as one deputy struggles to subdue Morrison, while another places her brother in handcuffs.
Meanwhile, the judge makes a quick exit. As one deputy fights to gain control of Morrison, another puts her brother in handcuffs.
Morrison and Smith are taken away, and their mother is also restrained in the back of the courtroom.
A third person is also restrained in the back of the courtroom, their mother.
You should have videoed this. You should have videoed this.
Smith and his mother are hit with 48 hours in jail for resisting a public officer, while Morrison receives 30 days.
They're hit with 48 hours in jail for resisting a public officer, while Morrison receives 30 days.
Judge James Hill received a public reprimand by the North Carolina Supreme Court for improperly exercising his contempt powers, failing to maintain order and decorum, and making inappropriate comments.
For improperly exercising his contempt powers, failing to maintain order and decorum, and making inappropriate comments.
Now we're at Moore Justice Center in Brevard County.
Now to the Moore Justice Center in Brevard County, Florida.
Defendant Andrew Weinstock and his client are appearing before Judge John Murphy.
Public defender Andrew Weinstock and his client are appearing before Judge John Murphy, who...
The judge wants the defendant to waive his right to a speedy trial, since the court's schedule is hectic.
Public defender, what do you want to do?
But they filed?
They have.
I'm not waiving.
All right, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I'm not waiving. You want to set it for trial, set it for trial.
But Weinstock isn't budging, and this infuriates the judge.
If I had a rock, I would throw it at you right now.
You know,
stop pissing me off. Just sit down. I'll take care of it. I don't need your help.
No, you know what? I'm the public defender. I have a right to be here, and I have a right to stand and represent my clients.
If you want to fight, let's go out back, and I'll just beat your ass.
They both head to the room at the back of the courtroom, out of the sight of the cameras.
They both head to the hallway behind the courtroom, just out of the view of the court's cameras.
To everyone's shock, they actually do get into a physical altercation.
Believe it or not, they get into a physical altercation.
Judge Murphy returns to the courtroom alone 10 minutes later.
I will catch my breath eventually. Man, I'm an old man.
Once he catches his breath, he continues with the rest of the hearings.
Your choices, considering there's probably going to be a changeover in personnel, are setting it for trial June 9th, or if you were wanting to waive speedy, we would set it for July 15th.
I would like to get it done as fast as possible.
That doesn't help me.
Florida Judicial Qualifications Commission charged Judge Murphy for his misconduct. The case reaches the Florida Supreme Court, which orders immediate suspension and permanent removal of the judge.
Florida Judicial Qualifications Commission, who charged Judge John Murphy with threatening to commit violence against an assistant public defender, engaging in a physical altercation with counsel, and resuming his docket while defendants were without counsel. The case eventually reaches the Florida Supreme Court, which orders the immediate suspension and permanent removal of Judge Murphy from his post.